Good morning. Happy Sunday, everyone. It's Candice Lee from Candice Lee Fired Up, independent epicure consultant, meal prep whiz. I'm live in my kitchen. We're about to do some meal prepping, or royal we, aka me. So if you're at home and you're ready, get started, meal prep with me. Get some items out. Let's get in the kitchen and have a bit of fun. Go ahead and post, ask questions, and I will answer, and we'll go from there. So this morning I'm going to get started with some pork chops over here. I'm going to actually do 3 flavors. I'm going to do it with our lovely cookie sheet pan and our bacon roll. I'm going to do a whole bunch at once, but with different flavors. So first flavor, first I'm actually just going to season it with our salt and our turmeric and black pepper grinders. Love these grinders. They can actually come right off, and you can transfer them to, say, with any of our other jars that have similar. You can do that, and it'll do the same. It'll grind it, and you can choose the size just by turning the little knob in here, what size you want it to go. And you can buy them separately, so you don't have to have them with already the seasoning that you're using on it, right? So what I'm going to do is our barbecue chicken and rub, which is coming back, which is awesome, in our summer collection. That is starting May 1st. So I'm just going to put some on and go ahead and rub that in, and then I'll turn them over, and I will do the same thing. And rub them all in. Okay. Just a little bit more. Okay, so that's the barbecue and chicken rub. The next one I'm actually going to do is try our new seasoning that's coming again in May, but there is one collection that we have available as of today, which is super cool, that Epicure let a few items come out early. It's in our Summer Strong collection, so you can get ready for summer grilling and things like that, and summer sipping cocktails and salads. And this one is our Tuscan chicken burger, and it's in the collection, but I get to try it early because I did conference, so it's yummy. It actually does smell nice, which is awesome. Anyway, it is for chicken or like chicken burgers and stuff, but it also can be used for pork, which is why I'm doing it this way today. I thought I would give it a shot. Amelia was on our showcasing our meal prep and how to use some of these products yesterday in our global launch. So she said, try it on pork, and I'm like, okay, let's do that. And then the last one is actually teriyaki. Again, not much in there. Coming back in our summer collection. But it's my favorite. So if you love teriyaki, you can actually make your own with this seasoning here. So some oil and some soy sauce, and then massage it into your protein. I'm just going to do a bit of soy, and that's what I'm going to do. And just brush it on. Not going to worry about the other side because I'm going to actually turn them over now that I remembered that in about 10 minutes, and then I can redo it then. Okay, so that's just going to go in the oven. On my timer. Oops. If I can remember how to use my timer. Okay, so that's that for now. That aside, the next I'm actually going to do is get some rice going into the microwave in our great multi-purpose steamer. So that's a nice big one. And the instructions are pretty much, a 1.5 to 3 cups of water. And what I'm going to do is actually season it up with our chicken broth. And this is where I get to use my meal prep bowls, which I love. Okay. That can go aside. And then some water. And this, the reason why I love these bowls is right on the side is actual measurements, both in cup version and in milliliters, sorry. So milliliters and then cups, and then the top is like the full cup, so it's good to go. All right, so that's the water and the balsamic rice or whatever. And we're gonna do some chicken broth. So pretty much it's a teaspoon and a half per cup of water when you're making the broth in that. So there you go. Give it a bit stirred and in the microwave for also 10 minutes. There you go. So, rice is going, pork chops are going. I'll turn them over and do the last couple minutes on the other side. But now let's get into dessert, because after the pork chops comes out, I'm going to actually put in my breakfast cookies and sweet banana bread. So this week, because we're getting our food share of like produce on Friday, we're a little short on like fresh produce, but we got tons of frozen, so I'm not really gonna fuss too much with that because I've already got it prepped and portioned in the freezer, so that's fine. But basically I'm gonna focus more on this, the meat, protein, that kind of stuff, and then little snacks and desserts and stuff, so that we don't want stuff that we shouldn't want. Okay, so superhero cookies, right? Let's get going on that. All right, so I got them in there, 400. Oh, and in case you're wondering, it's 400 degrees for the pork chops. There actually is a whole bunch of recipes on our website for it. I'm just using the Greek roasted pork chop recipe just to follow that kind of idea. On the sheet pan, cook for about 10-15 minutes, and then I can just turn them over at about, like, so I'm gonna go 10, turn them over, do 5, and that should be sufficient. They're pretty thin, and it shouldn't take that long. But then the breakfast cookies is what I've got going next. And I actually make them in the round bowls, but let's get started. So it's 2 cups of the Quick Oats. I use steel cut. You can use whatever way you like. So again, I can use my cool meal prep bowls. And basically, it's about 3 of these for a cup. So these are containers left over from the protein powder, if you can tell. The thing comes off really easy, and I can use it for like our oats or almonds or anything like that. So yeah. Okay, so 2 cups of, 2 cups of the oats. Then it says like a dried fruit of some kind. I'm actually short on cranberries and things. That's something I still need to get. But basically a half a cup is what they say. I actually have some prunes, so that's what we're going to use. Use what you got, right? Contemplating making the protein balls too with the dates and the chocolate protein, but we'll see how my morning goes. So I'm just chopping them up. Probably you can't see that very well, but literally I'm just going to chop them up into smaller pieces. All right. Pretty sticky, but that is what happens. Alright, so some dried fruit. And then next it says is a banana, which I'm not going to actually do today. I'm going to use applesauce instead. Just because we're making a sweet banana bread and I don't want a banana everywhere. And I, of course, forgot to pull out the banana. I mean the applesauce. So it says 1 banana, so I figure probably a little over a 1/4 cup, maybe a little bit more, just based on the moisture that we need to smush everything up. It says coconut flakes, don't have any of those either. It's a little short, but that's okay. And then it says 2 cups of the protein powder. So you can use chocolate or you can use vanilla. I'm just gonna use our chocolate instead of having the chocolate protein booster. And this, I'll just do this one and it'll take care of the chocolatey flavor that I'm looking for. So 2 cups, or 2 scoops, sorry, of this. There you go. Get your yummy vegan protein there. I am gonna top it up with a little bit of our super greens. With the chocolate, you won't notice it as much. And again, these guys have little scoops as well. There we go. Okay. Now it's some natural peanut butter or nut-free or whatever kind of nut butter you like to use, or seed butter, and a bit of almond milk. And what I'm going to do is add in a bit of our pumpkin seeds, or you could use sunflower seeds or whatever you like. And add that in. Okay, so peanut butter. I used up our last one, so giving the new one a good shake. Move that peanut oil around. Use our cool 3-in-1 spatula. This one actually has peanuts in it, so it's a little bit chunky. You can use whatever nut or zesty powder you like. But our 3-in-1 spatula has like 3 little edges, so you can get like at the bottom of like a yogurt container or a peanut butter container or whatever, or if you're baking a cake, get all of the your stuff on the sides. All right, so let me just scoop some of this out. What did I say I needed? A whole cup. All right. So I'm not particularly one for measuring, as you can probably see, but it's all good. You go ahead and measure how you like. All right. Oops. I'm a touch messy today. All right, and then it says a 1/4 cup of the almond milk. But again, you can use whatever you like. Okay. Just going to mix it all up. Again, using our very cool 3-in-1 spatula. And there we go. So there is the superhero cookies. These are also going to go right onto my cookie sheet with the bacon roll. Just going to give everything a check before I get my hands all sticky. All right. Okay, so here is where you can do what they say, which is making your big, like a 1/2 cup version of it. But I am just going to actually just make balls with it, because I'm looking more for quick little snacks, quick bite-sized pieces. But usually I could just put 2 or 3 in, and then I'm good to go. This is also very cool to do if you got kids to help out, getting their hands all sticky, right? Making their own little oatmeal breakfast cookies, or making their own little power protein date balls. Again, you know how it is. If you're in the kitchen making it, you're a lot more likely to want to eat it afterwards, right? All right, so that's going. I forgot to put on some dance music for this morning. Can't be meal prepping without some funky music, right? So the awesome thing about these as well is that I can freeze them, and I can have them for a couple of weeks They're great as a quick grab if you were heading out. Again, as I said, if you got kids, it's a great little snack for them if they come in after playing a little bit and want a quick little snack. They're easy to grab, and you know what's in them, right? So how much sugar will you just put in? So in essence, there's only a little bit of sugar in the protein powder, and basically the sugar that you added with the dried fruit is kind of what we're at, right? So it's very little amount, and you can control what kind of protein it is as well. Optimal one, maybe the best one for your kids. If you've got your own, use that. But yeah, so they're pretty awesome little guys, and then they're versatile, right? So you could have made them with the vanilla protein, or you could have made them with different types of fruit, different types of nuts, different types of seeds. So you could have quite a few different flavors. You could add in some of our sweet dip if you wanted to sweeten it up a little bit, or the Cocoa Crunch, or the Tutti Frutti that we have, Whole Food Sprinkles. You could put that into it. Yeah, you could change up the flavor by adding in maybe a spice, like our apple pie spice, or cinnamon, or chai. And yeah, so that's another awesome thing about it. I'm almost done here, which is perfect timing because the microwave has gone off, so that means that the rice should be done, and it's time for me to check on the what do you call it, pork chops, and maybe give them a turn and see how they're doing. All right, there are a couple that are too small. Yes, I hear you, microwave. I hear you. All right, so an example of the 3-in-1. So literally it can do that. It can go on the edge, see right there, and it can go the other way too. So you're left-handed or right-handed. It in essence works for you. So a tiny bit more. There we go. Pork chops need a little longer. And we just pull out the rice. Oh, yep, rice looks good. So there you go. Rice made with the chicken broth. All good. So that I can put aside, let it cool, put it into a prep bowl or whatever, and put it into the fridge, and then we've got a couple cups of rice all ready to go to add to our meals for the week. That's out of the way, and pork chops are going. Sugar cookies are ready to go in the oven once that's done. Okay, so next I was actually going to make is the sweet banana bread with some chocolate and peanut butter as well. So yeah, we'll go ahead with that one. So this is our sweet banana bread. Literally in a bowl, we're just gonna mash up some bananas with some eggs and a bit of oil. If you don't do eggs, no problem. Use applesauce, use chia paste, whatever you like, basically. get some bananas. Else, a good way to mash up your bananas, actually, if you have our meat separator. Just give it a good mash, especially if you like. You can choose how chunky your bananas are for your banana bread. There you go, look. Awesome. So then the eggs. Whip it up a bit, add a little bit of olive oil, and olive oil is great for moisture in your cooking, baking, I should say. All right, that's that. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna add a little bit of the peanut butter. Mix that together. And then I'm gonna add in the actual sweet banana bread mixture. And in this is rice flour. So everything in Epicure is gluten-free, which is awesome. So you can adjust all that. So in here is rice flour, organic cane sugar, cornstarch, tapioca starch, baking soda, baking powder, cinnamon, a little bit of sea salt. So all you need to do is add in your wet ingredients. And the adaptation I'm doing here is based on one of our people at the head office, I believe, who was taste testing kitchen and playing around. So she put chocolate chips in and some peanut butter and some coconut flakes, and then put the caramel, we have caramel sauce, put that into cream cheese and made icing for it. And it was really good. And I tried it without the coconut flakes because we're again out of that. But we love it as well. And I'm actually going to put it into my Perfect Petite pan because my other half really likes the crispy bits of it. He's much more into it being more like a cookie than a cake. So that's the great thing about the Perfect Petite pan is that we actually get crusty parts on all sides. So just close that up and need some of my grapeseed oil. Looking good. Basting brush. Give it a wash, get rid of the teriyaki seasoning out of it, and then just smush around a bit of the oil. If you have something really with a lot of fat, and if you were making what I love to make, which is peanut butter chocolate bars, I like making my own Reese's bar cups, whatever. Of course, the peanut butter has quite a bit of oil in it, so I don't tend to oil it for that. And also the chocolate as well, so it takes care of that. You don't need to worry about it. But if you're doing something that doesn't have a lot of oil or fat in it, totally recommend dropping a bit in there. It'll just help it come out. And then, yeah, then I can go ahead and just put my chunky sweet banana bread with chocolate chips and peanut butter into the Perfect Petite pan. Don't worry about making it perfectly clean because that's what you can do afterwards. You can adjust it and clean it up. Right now it's just mostly trying to make sure that every cavity, the 2 tablespoon cavity here, gets some. And if for any reason you're cooking with it without being able to fill everything, just put water into the other little holes, and everything will bake evenly with that. All right. Definitely gonna make it. Here's where I would just tidy up the edges a bit and then just see which ones need more. So if you have any questions about any of the things that you're seeing here or about what you're doing when you're meal prepping, feel free to reach out. You can DM me, you can email me, hop on to my page and just put a post in. You can come join my private VIP group. I share lots of recipes and tips and specials. And also you could just have your own if you wanted. You want to have your own cooking class. We could do that. It's virtual now, of course. Due to the fact that we're all staying home and being safe. And so that our nurses and doctors and grocery store clerks are as safe as they can be, minimalizing. It's kind of why I like to meal prep, is that it does help with that as well. Is that if I know what I'm eating for the next week or two, or a basic idea, usually our base is the same, so it's not like a big deal. We know that we go for certain vegetables and certain proteins and that, and as long as our pantry is stocked with the cans and dry goods, we can pretty much make whatever we want with the base and just adapt it based on seasonings. That's kind of why I love Epicure, is that I can do that. I can just change up the flavors, make it Mexican, Indian, Thai, doesn't matter, but the base kind of stays the same. So if I know what we're eating for the week, we can buy groceries in smaller or longer batches, in essence, longer time in between. The frequency is different. So we like doing that. So anyway, this is ready. When everything else comes out, actually I'll just leave it there. Let me just check on the pork chops. Alright, let me grab our tongs, turn on the fan, so we don't want putting that on broil for about 5 minutes, and then the pork chops will be done. And then I can slide in both of the cookies and the banana bread in at the same time. And about 20 minutes, those two things, 20-25 minutes, I'm gonna guess, those two things will be done. And then in essence, I can just finish up what I'm doing while that's in there. So what I plan on doing is, we do have a little bit of fresh vegetables we need to use up. I got some carrots and broccoli, so I'm gonna actually just make carrots and broccoli coleslaw. Again, it's a seasoning coming back that I'm gonna just use. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop up some carrots and some broccoli and make up the sauce. and then just have that as a great side or a stack. There we go. Normally I buy the big carrots, but you get what you can get in this time, right? You add that. Broccoli. Won't do it all in the sauce. Oops. I'll just do some of it, but the rest of it I will chop up and have ready so that we can add to the sauce. That way we're not overdoing it. So I'll take a couple more of those and leave the rest for something else. More carrot. So meal prepping for me is just about, you know, you schedule a bit of time to actually plan out what you're eating for the week, right? You get going, you get figuring out what you're gonna do. And then you kind of shop at home to see what you've already got, what you can use, without having to go out and buy more, and slow down on, you know, wasting products unless for some reason you really don't like it. Then I recommend trying to cover it in something else, or maybe giving it to Goodwill. You know, if you really don't like beans, then, or a certain kind of beans, but you give them a shot and another can, just go ahead and put that into a box and get and share that with somebody else who may actually enjoy it. So anyway, some carrots and some broccoli, and then we're gonna make the slaw. So coleslaw, we're gonna actually do the creamy version. So it's 2 tablespoons each of the mix, plus vinegar, mayo, and plain yogurt. You just pork them up. All right. Just gonna stop for a second. Take different pork chops. Leave that fan on for a sec. And I'm gonna just put this in. That's what's trying not to have to happen. Little ones aren't perfect, but they'll do for now until I get it in there. Alright. Okay, give that a minute for the heat to come down. Alright. Basically, here's some pork chops. All done. 3 different flavors. Can go into the fridge. We can make wraps. You could just have a nice pork chop dinner. You can put it into a nourish bowl. We could throw it into another meal, like a stir fry. Get all your veggies and stuff ready, and you can do that. So, timer on again for the superhero cookies and the sweet banana bread. And then partway through, I'll pull the banana bread off the thing. It's just so that it doesn't wobble much. I only have 2 cookie sheets, so I really need the other cookie sheet. But that's what happens. All right, coleslaw. So, put in some mayo. And some plain yogurt. So this is a vegan yogurt with a cashew yogurt, sorry. Almond and cashew yogurt plain. So the coleslaw says a couple tablespoons of the mix with the vinegar and half a cup each of the mayo and the plain yogurt, but this is, I won't need the full amount here for this. So I will just do maybe like a tablespoon of the seasoning and then mix it all up. Try not to make too much of a mess. Like that. I think it needs a touch more of the seasoning. Another thing you could do is use a bit of like mustard. We got a great mustards that you could have. Anyway, there we go. Carrot, broccoli, coleslaw dressing, creamy version, ready for a couple of meals for, that's all right, couple meals for this week. All right. I would show you well, I can show you a little bit of my disaster. Over here, my kitchen is like sink is a disaster, but over here I'm using our roll to put out some vegetables to dry and some chickpeas. So the chickpeas, I'm gonna actually just make a seasoning, which is one of my favorite dressings, sesame ginger. So we're just gonna do that one. So sesame ginger. There goes my favorite dressing. So I'm just going to make up about 2 tablespoons of that-ish. It needs a bit of the rice vine vinegar. And get some soy sauce, about the same amount of each. It does say oil as well. I'm not one for oil. And then that one is pretty much ready to go for my chickpeas. So I'm just going to dump my chickpeas into a meal prep container. Get my sauce, which of course, I just need another spoon. Awesome thing about having dishwasher, all this can just go in and I don't have to fuss. Okay, so there we go. This is ready, marinated. I can add cold onto a Nourish bowl or a salad, or toss in with the rice that we just made and some vegetables. And then I've got a couple of different proteins. So pork chops are done, chickpeas, and then of course the superhero cookies, protein for a few different meals, lunches, breakfast, dinners, all that, snacks. I have most of my veggies are frozen in the freezer, so I don't need to fuss with them. Otherwise, I made the broccoli and carrot slaw. I have the superhero cookies in the oven right now with the sweet banana bread with the chocolate chips. Great for desserts and snacks as well. And what else? Got my snap peas here dried and ready to go away. And rice is done. So there we go. That's my meal prep for today, for the next couple of days. Being home, I can step up again. Also, what I do is over here, if you can see, we have a whiteboard on the fridge, so we both know what's being prepared for the week for meals. So there's not a lot of what's for dinner questions. We know that, we're having X, so we need to pull out Y out of the freezer the night before. Then that's, again, it's all about mindset. Spending like a 30 seconds here or a minute here or 15 minutes or half an hour based on what you're doing basically just alleviates a lot of stress at the actual meal prepping time. So at lunch or breakfast or dinner, if you already have most of it prepared or portioned out, you don't have to worry about the stress. But the main stress of it all is just getting to that point of dinner, and I find this for me is that, and you don't have any prepared, like you didn't pull anything out of the freezer, so you have no protein, or you don't have your vegetables all chopped up and ready to go, or at least washed. So then you have to wash and dry them and cut them, and if you prepare a lot of all that ahead, it's literally just dump it into a stir fry or a one pot wonder like curries or butter chickens or something. And if you make things ahead like desserts and stuff, then you're less likely to want to just go out to get a chocolate bar or something, because you already have a great little chocolatey dessert in your freezer, and it'll take like less than 30 seconds to defrost. So why not do that? Or make your own make your own frozen treats. We got great puddings. You can turn them into pudding pops. And yeah, even cocktails. Want to have a fancy cocktail at home, but you can do that making like a syrup out of the teas. If you got a favorite tea, maybe a herbal tea or a fruit tea, boil that up with a little bit of sugar. Or for me, I don't do any, and it's just more like really condensed tea, and I just add that into spritzy water or maybe a little vodka or something, and then it's fun. And a lot of that actually is in the Summer Strong collection. If you want to check that out, it gives a little guide on how to do the cocktails, how to get some grilling going and different seasonings and all that, and glazes and rubs, and it shows you how to get your summer on kind of idea. And it's early. It's only the 19th of April, and normally it comes out on May 1st, so it's pretty cool. So if you have any questions on anything, or you want to learn more about meal prepping or jump into Epicure, let me know. I'd love to chat. Otherwise, have a beautiful day, everyone. Bye.